so Farigarath was the problem. But I taunted Farigarath, so Farigarath couldn't set up Trick Room, which would have been the win condition they needed for Torkoal in the end to come out and be able to start spamming Eruption and Sunlight. Boosted.
Eruption coming in off the Trick Room effect.
Yeah, and so he's the slowest Pokemon. He would have went first, and he would have did Eruption, Sun boosted Eruption because it's a fire attack. Which
in the sunlight.
Correct, because his ability is to make sun when he comes out.
Okay, so let's read this while I'm going through here. So, Hisui. So the Hisui region refers to Sinnoh as it was known during its discovery and settlement in a historical period set before Gen 4. And it's the setting of Pokemon Legends Arceus.
Maybe water.
Honestly, the way this looked back in the day, if this was like Arceus' story template, it looked like it was. This looks like a scroll. Like when you read, you see images on a scroll. It feels like that, like it's from the Edo period. Like the damn near almost looks like Mount Fuji during like peak times before like the continent of Kanto was founded. Professor at the time was Professor Laventon. Is a traveling Pokemon professor who studies in the Hisui region. He's a member of the Galaxy Team Survey Corps and specializes in Pokemon. If you were looking for the villainous team in Sinnoh, see Team Galactic, Team Expedition, or the Galaxy Team for short. It's made up of people from other regions who come to study. Okay, so there's a different context there. Okay, so it's not the evil team in that region. It's just a team of researchers for actually what it's supposed to do. Context, the more you know. So, etymology and design concept. Hisui may be derived from jade, possibly an allusion to the region's pristine verdant landscapes. It may also involve Hisui, which is Japanese for hidden and profound, paralleling to Sinnoh's original name origin being derived of mysterious and profound, which is called Sin-Uh-Oh. Alright, here's a map of Japan showing the Sinnoh region as the island of Hokkaido. Well, damn. So, Kanto, Johto. Well, that kind of makes sense, because Kanto and Johto were literally like brothers. They're literally side by side. Because Gen 2 literally proved that point. Then Hoenn is way the hell over here. That was Gen 3. The Sevi Islands. That's from Fire Red, Leaf Green era. And then Sinnoh, Hisui's right here. Hang on, I want to save this. Because that's the case, then where does Kalos fit in here? Or, wait, what was Gen 5? Gen 5 was Unova, right? Okay, we'll come back around to that. The adjective form of Hisui is Hisuian, as seen in the term use of Hisuian form. The design concept. Okay, so Hisui may be based on the may be based on the Japanese island of Hokkaido, while it was still known as Izo, referring to the indigenous Aino people prior to the island's annexation in Japan's territory during the Meiji era. The island was regarded by the Yamato people as a frontier land prior to the Meiji Restoration of 1868, where the northern frontier was renamed to its current administrative title in 1869, and the entire island colonized by the Japanese government, with its native inhabitants forcibly assimilated into Japanese society. Jubilife Village may also allude to the early history of Sapporo, where Japanese settlers established the village on the larger plain that had once been Ainu lands and constructed a canal through the area. The small settlement of Sapporo later became the administrative center of Hokkaido, where it serves as the site of the former Hokkaido government office, corresponded by the settlement of the Galaxy team in the area with its headquarters of Galaxy Hall, resembling the very same aforementioned government office. Wow, so they even have a reference of this tidbit in the game. The ancient structure in the region, such as those in the Temple of Sinnoh and Celestial ruins, resemble the architect of the ancient Greek and Romans, characterized by the distinctive style of marble and temples of row of columns. Well, damn. Okay. Spoiler warning: this article may contain major spoils about the plot or ending. Fuck that. I already know how Pokemon ends. From one boy's perspective. I mean, technically, the world doesn't really end, it just keeps expanding. Prehistory. Damn, Bulba Guardian's got all of this. Bulba Guardian's really in their bag with this shit. Hang on. And this is just Sinnoh history. So, according to several myths, after the creation of the Pokemon of Myth, the Pokemon universe, and the Lake Guardians, Arceus created Mount Coronet, then the rest of the Hisui region, then the rest of the Pokemon world using its 1,000 arms. You know, I actually inclined to believe some of that. Because if you remember from the 4th generation, Mount Coronet was actually like a gateway to get to Arceus for the DLC. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually his resting origin point on how he actually comes from his realm to ours, Earth. That also explains why there's like Palkia and Dialga that can be, well, either or that can be captured in their own game that also can be caught on Mount Coronet. Okay, but geeky moment. Well, you know. Arceus also created the Adamant Crystal, I remember that, the Lustrous Glow, and the Giseous Core. Those are literally for Palkia, Dialga, and Giratina. Those were the materials that were related to the 3 Pokemon of Myth. At some point, Uxie, Mesprit, and Nuzlocke dove into the caves at the bottom of 3 lakes in the region. That was Verity, Valor, and Acuity. I remember those. And then, which granted them the title of the Lake Guardians. Because those lakes are literally pure because they rest right there in those lakes. Because I remember in the game, you catch 2 of them. You have the ability to catch 2 of them, and the 3rd one just kind of roams away. At some point, Heatran was born from the lava of Fire Pit's Island's volcano. Additionally, after the creation of all 5 legendary giants. Which ones? Hang on. Wait, there's other Regis? Their creator, Regigigas, fell into a deep slumber within Snow Point Temple, being only awakened by unlocking the door of the chamber where it was sealed. Hold on, put a pin in this right here. I need to know about the legendary giants. There's more Regi creatures? Let me pull this up, hang on. The legendary giants, or the giants of legend, is a quintet of legendary Pokemon consisting of Regirock, Regice, Registeel, Regileaky, and Regidrago. What the hell? Are you serious? There's 2 newer Regi people? Jay, did you know this?
Mm-hmm.
They're also known as the legendary Titans, or the rock Pokemon. Separately, Regieleki, and Regidrago are referred to as a duo by Peony as the twin giants. Fans also refer to them as the legendary golems. They reside in several different regions. I know, they originally come from Hoenn. Sinnoh, Unova, and Galar, specifically Crown Tundra, Regigigas was the only one that created the quintet out of different materials.
I should have.
I swear, Regigigas is just like it's like he must be like the Titan god for that. He was able to create all of them literally out of like specific minerals and give them life. Because you got one that's pure ice, pure steel, pure rock. I need to see what the hell these other two are. I need to know. And it just gave them eyes, and then boom, they're living creatures. Like hell, Brandon is literally like one of the most famous Pokemon trainers of all time, literally because he has one of each of them from one region. Oh, dude's literally the king of the battle frontier. Alright, let's check this out. So Regigigas is an electric type legendary Pokemon introduced in Gen 7. Oh my god. It's a member of the legendary giants. It does not evolve into any other Pokemon. Bruh. Okay, that's one. So what's this other one? Regidrago. I'm gonna just guess it's a dragon type. Yes, it is. What are the stats on this shit? Because every Reggie has godlike stats. I need to know. Oh, his stats are all normal. It's his HP that's monstrous. Wait, what about Electric Boy? Hang on. What about the electric one? What are the stats on the electric one? Oh my god, that's fast. Oh no, lock him up. That's legendary. Well, it means a legendary Pokemon, but no, lock his ass up. That's illegal. So we got three Reggies that can all tank shit. You have one that's fast as hell, and one that just has enough HP to make me question life. Okay. Alright, we're gonna come back to the Gigas. Hang on, let's come back in here. The giants share very similar names, each one for 7 dots in their eyes. Long ago, the Regigigas created other Pokemon in its own image, using ice, rocks, magma, a cluster of electrical energy, and crystallized dragon energy, which would be known as the creatures respectively. Regigigas and Regidrago are especially powerful among the giants, but do not have access to their full power, as Regigigas was fitted with special non-conductive equipment to limit its power, and Regidrago was sealed within ancient ruins before it was actually completed by Regigigas. That explains why it looks like a little tiny tot. So the other ones are actually complete constructs. But these other two here is like raw power that has a form, but it's not a full form. My Regigigas is half-assing. Of all the giants that used to live among humans, being worshipped by them, after pulling the land masses together and binding them with ropes to create the regions of the Pokemon world, Regigigas entered a deep sleep within Snow Point Temple, being sealed away by a door behind a puzzle. The other 5 golems were eventually sealed away by its worshippers out of fear of their power. Regirock, yeah, that was Hoenn's Desert Ruin, Sinnoh's Rock Peak, and then Galar's Rock Peak. Regi Ice was in Hoenn's Island Cave, and then in Sinnoh's Iceberg Ruins. And then Registeel was in Hoenn's Ancient Tomb. I remember that because I remember the battle music for those creatures. That was really godlike back in the day when you first hear the battle music for the Reggies. Damn, I miss those days. Yeah, I remember these places. From Ancient Home island cave and the desert ruins. Because you have to have like a Pokemon that can kind of help negate those areas in order to go into them. Yeah, I remember some of these. And then in Black and White 2, there was a place where you can, in theory, you can get to them. Because you have to solve a puzzle in order to... Yeah, you remember the environmental puzzle? Yeah. Because I didn't know they were attainable until like way later. And I was like, alright, you know what, let's try it. Okay, so takes care of the Regis. Alright, let's get back to the anatomy design, because I want to get back to seeing about all the different lores and everything in like this region. Because this is a hell of a region. About a millennia or two. Wait, hang on. At some point he trained. Yeah, I did go over here. According to a legend, an ancient hero started a journey to gather all of Arceus' 18 plates, befriending 10 Pokemon during his travels around the region. After succeeding in gathering them all, the hero met Almighty Sinnoh itself, gaining its respect and being blessed by it alongside his Pokemon. These 10 Pokemon would eventually have descendants that would be known as Hisui's Noble and Ride Pokemon. What the hell are those? Let me look at that. I'll put that on to the side. Which will be worshipped as the protectors of the people and the Pokemon of Hisui. After becoming a hero, he battled the almighty Unknowable. Bro, these fucking names. Being approved by it before it returned to its domain of no place. How very Kingdom Heartsy. Following the hero's journey, the Temple of Sinnoh was built atop Mount Coronet in honor of the hero, his Pokemon, and Arceus. Alright, so pull up a tab here on the side for the ancient hero. Alright, about a millennia or two ago, prior to Pokemon Legends Arceus, the ancient Sinnoh Pokemon lived in Hisui and worshipped Arceus, which was known as the Almighty Sinnoh. Oh, that's what Almighty Sinnoh was. It was just Arceus at the time, before he was actually probably given a name. Okay, at the time, they used to perform rituals in which they wore outfits and styled their hair in a way to mimic Arceus' appearance to show their respect. The ancient Sinnoh people later vanished, leaving only their descendants behind in the present day. Another group of people, the Celestia, are also mentioned in the old verses, though there are fewer details on them. The Diamond and Pearl clans traveled to Hisui from across the sea and started worshipping an almighty Sinnoh, with the Diamond clan claiming it created time, and the Pearl clan claiming it created space. Okay, I see where this is going. Both clans claimed to be the Celestia people, though they had no relation. This disagreement set off a long-running feud between the two clans. The members of the clan also started venerating the Noble and Ride Pokemon and appointed themselves as wardens to tend to their needs. 2 years later, the Galaxy Expedition team would arrive in the region consisting of people from numerous various regions. These settlers built Jubilife Village in Hisui's southwestern corridor. Unlike the two clans that lived in Hisui prior, the people of Jubilife Village were distracted of Pokemon, so to capture and restore them, the expedition team brought them with Pokeballs, a newly invented technology. I wonder if this has anything to do with the early assessment of Pokemopolis. If you remember the thesis of Pokemopolis in the original Kanto text back in the manga and the earlier stuff, like early Pokemon capturing technology.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know it or remember it. Shortly prior, Volo, a descendant of the ancient Sinnoh people who sought to conquer Arceus, somehow found Giratina and partnered up with it so it could tear down Arceus as revenge for banishing it into the past. Giratina tore open a space-time rift over Mount Coronet, driving Dialga and Palkia mad as a result, so that the creator would be dragged out from hiding, which didn't work. Volo and Giratina's actions also caused the noble Pokemon to become frenzied in the appearance of alpha Pokemon and space-time distortions. At some point, one of the noble Pokemon, the Lord of Isles Arcanine, died at sea while trying to save his Growlithe pup from drowning, forcing his warden, Helena, to raise the pup to be the next noble. At some point, Ingo suddenly arrived in Hisui from the future, losing most of his memories in the process. At most 300 years prior to Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, Platinum, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, the events of Pokemon Legends Arceus occurred. During this game, Ray Akari, I guess it's probably the character you're playing as, were sent to Hisui from the future by Arceus. The Diamond and Pearl clans set the differences aside, the noble Pokemon were calmed down, Volo's plans were stopped, and Giratina had a change of heart, abandoning its revenge and choosing to protect the world from then on. I didn't think Giratina had a heart like that. After the events of Arceus, Hisui became known as Sinnoh. At some point, the Galaxy team was disbanded, but Captain Celine passed down the name and accomplishments of the team to her descendants. At some point, Ingo suddenly disappeared one day after saying, "It is time for me to return," and somehow returning to his era. According to the townspeople, Floroma Town was once a barren and desolate hill. People began planting flowers around it, but nothing would grow until someone expressed thanks for a blessing of nature, after which the whole hill burst into bloom. Hey, wait a minute. There's a sign in the game. I remember that. Not this, but there's a sign in the game. There was some old dude or someone in that town pointed that out, that this hill was, that the whole point of that town was just a really flowery, busty thing, because out of nowhere it just happened, where it just became a whole blustering hill of flowers and whatnot, because when he was young that didn't happen. I remember that conversation because I remember when I get bored sometimes playing the Pokemon games, I just talk to everybody around town. Even though low-key you're probably supposed to do that anyways, I just do that and then come back to it because I just fill time.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me look into these noble Pokemon. The noble Pokemon are a select group of Pokemon that are dedicated to watch over and protect the humans in Pokemon of Hisui, where they are worshipped by the Diamond and Pearl clans. They're descendants of 5 of the 10 companions of the ancient hero of legend. The descendants of the other 5 are the ride Pokemon. Wait, so the descendants of 5 of the 10. The descendants of the other 5. Oh my god, my head. I should probably just play the damn game. Okay, that's noble Pokemon. Now what about the ride Pokemon? The ride Pokemon are a group of Pokemon that are dedicated to assisting humans that they deem worthy, allowing themselves to be ridden across Hisui, where they're worshipped by the Diamond and Pearl clans. They're descendants of 5 of the 10 companions of the ancient hero. The descendants of the other 5 are the noble Pokemon. List of ride Pokemon. Weird Ursulana. What the wait, there's another version of the Ursul? The bear?
Mm-hmm.
Why couldn't Ursaring just evolve into this? It actually looks kind of godlike. He's actually a bear. Like a big black bear, but he's not black. Stantler. That's Stantler's evolution. He looks old as hell. But it's actually a deer. It's like a full-grown pup. Braviary. The Braviary here, I actually kind of like this version here for Psychic Flying. Okay, so that's not bad for those types. The Pearl Clan is an ancient tribe of people based in the Hisui region. They worship a deity called the Almighty Sinnoh, who created space. This is led to fight with the Diamond Clan, who claim the Almighty Sinnoh created time. They're located at the Pearl Settlement. Okay, so all of these iterations for like early Dialga and Palkia lore make sense for their original transformations, the orbs that's locked to them, and like what they originally look like and what they look like now. Everything actually kind of makes sense in its own way. The Ancient Hero is a character from the backstory of Pokemon Legends Arceus. The hero's tale is told in the old verses. The legendary hero who had befriended a group of 10 Pokemon during his travels. Fire, electric, whatever that is. None of their moves were known. Became the ancestors. So hang on, so these are 10 creatures. I'm guessing of the quote-unquote 18 that make up the continental plate access that Arceus has. So these are 10 of those 18, if I'm mistaken this correctly. I'm trying to read between the lines here. Because he controls 18 plates, which means that it's all 18 individual typings. At least known at that time. I know they have descendants. Because I know Shyman kind of makes sense now, because Shyman has land form, sky form. He has alternate form, which is the origin form, where Giratina I know has the alternate form, its origin form, where it's kind of just floating, so it's not stagnant. It kind of makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. And then the old verse. Let me see the old verse. The old verses are a set of 20 key items introduced in Legend Arceus, and they're scattered around the region that can be dug up by the player while riding Ursula. Oh, the bear. Okay. Jubilife Village. I didn't know. Did this become Jubilife City? Because if this became Jubilife City, I'd be like, oh my god, hang on. So Jubilife Village is a village in the Hisui region that was constructed by the Galaxy Expedition Team. It lies to the west of the Obsidian Fieldlands and the Cobalt Coastlands on a section of Hisui's western shore. At the time of the arrival of the strange visitor. Oh, that's the player. The village had only been established for 2 years. In the present day, it has grown to be one of the largest cities in the history of Sinnoh, known as Jubilife City. Holy crap. All Burmese that battle here will turn their plant cloak form. Good old Burmy. That is godlike. So Jubilife City is historic. Yeah, so the farms all make sense. Canela Avenue makes sense. The hall makes sense. It all adds up. Damn, if I didn't know any better, dude, like, learning the lore between some of these regions is just kind of nice. Or at least for this one. Contemporary history. I read that one. The geography. In the in-game map of the Hisui region. Hisui is made up of 5 different sub-regions, each with its own climate. Okay, that actually kind of makes sense. Just like in Sinnoh, there's also about 4 4-ish regions that all have their own climate that show visibly in the game. That makes sense. Dude, I love it when lore comes together.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a climate outline, they have ecology, the demographics. Hisui has a total population of 111 people split up between the Galaxy team and the Diamond clan and the Pearl clan, having the shortest population of people to date, compared to other regions as introductions as a result of Hisui being recently established. Many of the people originate from different regions from all over the world, including Alola, Galar, and Hoenn. The Celestia people and the ancient Sinnoh people have once lived in the region. Kogata and Valo claim to be related to the Sinnoh people. Landmarks. I actually looked through a lot of these with the landmarks, and there's the artwork with Arceus. This really makes me want to pick up this damn game now. I came here to just look up the background around Sinnoh. I didn't realize I get like a whole ass vibe check about this. Okay, this is godlike. I'm satisfied.
Hmm?
Hell, I wonder what Kanto has.